Beautiful, man. I mean, I love unpacking your mindset here, which is excellent. Probably also helped you starting to pick up the art of writing. That's also is a driver.
So this is where the internet had just come into our lives, where post college 2011 2012 I paused out 2012, and that's where I felt like I took. So the difference here is, you asked me about thinking like a fan. Now I have no idea, but sometimes, and it still happens to me whenever I read something which is like very blasphemous, that how are you thinking like this? Okay, maybe you have. I'm not saying it is a wrong opinion, but my point is, let me put out my POV. And that's when I started to write very vociferously that, I think you should also read this. I'm not saying this is the only way to think about it, but I also think this is also a way that you can think about this particular situation. Like, I'll give you an example of Nicholas Puran against DC. So I'm doing a stream and everybody's like, why would you drop Puran at 5? Why would you drop Puran at 5? I'm like, I don't agree with the call either. But maybe there is nobody experienced in that lower order. And if Rishabh is to open, if Makram is to bat in the top 3, if they lose 3 early and if Puran is out there, they're gone. If Puran is there at 5 or 6, he can control the game far better. Now, again, I'm saying I don't agree with it. But my point is, I want you to at least know the perspective. Because it is something I still feel that there is a lot of cricket which we hardly understand. We're just going by what we've seen in the past, and we feel that, yes, we get confirmation bias and we can just push that narrative forward that, this is what I think, this is why it happened, and this is why it happened. So that's where I felt that I should write. And again, I was doing Google Blogspots where I don't know how many people even read, but to me, all of my life has revolved around Twitter, which is why I will always call it Twitter. Sorry, Musk Bhai. I'm calling you Bhai because I need that platform. I would not have survived if not for that platform. So I used to write there first, and of course we'll get into more details why you will feel what worked for Twitter in that sense. So yeah, I started on Twitter, and then people suggested me to start writing on Blogspot, and then just things one led to the other.
We spoken about it just before we started the game too. I think, again, primarily in the subcontinent, any association with cricket, people get excited that, wow, that's a beautiful job, that's a dream job, we want to go. So did you ever have, or do you still have ambition of you want to become something in cricket, like a commentator or writer for a famous publication or a podcaster or a team analyst? Any ambitions like that? And like, where are you in your journey with your cricketing ambitions?
See, for me, plans have never worked. And I have never had longer term plans because they've seldom worked. Anybody who's known or who's seen my LinkedIn would feel he's switching companies every 16 months. He can't survive. He can't survive a place more than 2 years. But then if you look deeper into those things, you'll understand most of them I didn't even have a choice. Some of it are. So I've experienced almost every kind of exit possible. I've had bought overs, I've had staff changes, I've had branches being shut down, I've had projects being shut down, I have startups being shut down. So I have had legacy platforms going away randomly. So to me, long-term plans have never worked. The fact that I got into this is also not something that I planned. It is just that I kept expressing myself. Some people saw it and they found it worth investing in me, and they were very kind enough to give me those opportunities. And from the moment I started in my third year of engineering as well. The third year of engineering itself, in terms of internships and all of that. So it has always been that whatever has come to me, I've tried to do the best of that in my particular way of doing it. So again, that's how I draw a parallel to my life, that I am reacting to every ball in front of me. I cannot plan what will happen after 5 years, after 5 years, after 10 years. What I can do is what is being bowled to me now is what I will deal with. And in the time, if I realize that, okay, I need to learn this to deal the next ball better, that is what I'll do. Because what I started by doing internships for social media. So I used to handle player pages, association pages, and all of that. After that, I've gone and I've done text commentary, I've done reporting, I've done live blogs, I've done social media again with organizations. Then I've handled again on-field reporting. Then I've done video work. Then I've done fantasy, and now I'm doing podcasting. So you see, it's almost every job possible in cricket has been touched upon in terms of, okay, let's see if we can do this well. Let's see if we can do this well, and it's not been my choice. It's just been what has come to me and what has been working. So that's what I've done. I've had my fair share of rejections and neglections that, you don't have a degree, you should not be here. Fair. I completely relate to you because I understand where you're coming from. But maybe you could have listened to my cricket experience as well, or my way of thinking about cricket. Maybe I would be of some use to you. But it's okay if you feel like that. And sometimes it's important that you go through those phases, but you have to have that understanding that you cannot hold the grudge against everybody. So you have to accept the fact that some things may not be meant for you. So to me, now I have completely resigned to the fact that I do not know where life is going to take me. But I know as much that till the time I can, I will try and do cricket as much as I can. And no matter whatever I do, see, cricket cannot go from me. Cricket is what defines me. So I may get work, I may not get work. Because there have been so many uncontrollables in my life that, as I said, branches have shut down, companies have been taken over. You have no way to say that, okay. So there was a time when I was doing stat documents and I felt that, now I'll become a good, analyst because I have access to this data, I have access to this. And then that went. And then I was under Gaurav Kalra at CricCrazyNiks and I was like, now I can do on-ground reporting. I'm going to studios, I'm recording with players. Now I can be a presenter. Snap, it's gone out of the way. Then I'm doing social media and I'm feeling now I can be with the team. Maybe not as an analyst, maybe as someone who handles social media for them. And then I'm like, snap, that is also gone out of my way. So my eventual aim, to put as simply as a child would, is to watch every cricket game possible at every possible cricket venue in the world. And if I can be live during that time, if I can bring that experience to others, I would be happy. Now, it can be in the form of an analyst, a commentator, a presenter. I'll leave cricketing gods to decide my future. All I'll do is what is in front of me. That's all I can do.
Beautiful. Excellent, man. Excellent. We'll continue to support you in whatever comes your way in cricket. Now, let's also just take one level deeper on your writing versus how you feel. You're not just writing about what you're seeing on the game, which is what commentators do, but a lot of your writing seems like you're living through the players, the game. Did you ever wanted to be a cricketer, number one? And the second part of the question is, there's a lot of gratitude in your writing, Niks. For example, you are so thankful for Sachin Tendulkar's journey and the impact he made in your life. Same did MS Dhoni. Like, give me a little sense of those two items. Like, how deep is this writing, and did you ever want to be a professional cricketer?
Of course, yes. I wanted to be a professional cricketer. As you heard in the earlier part of our conversations, I have waited for my chance all my life. I mean, almost everybody in India, when you play gully cricket, you feel you bat like Sachin. You bat like, yeah, that's how I'll go about this. And then that's how I'll play the uppercut. That's how I'll play the straight right. So I wanted to be a player, but then unfortunately, I was good at studies, which meant I got good marks, which meant, like every parent, and I don't grudge my parent for that, are you stupid? You've got so many you've got such good marks. Why would you want to play? Because when you come from an orthodox family in a times when these are very different times. I'm speaking 2000s. Not everybody is placed in the same way. Now today, if my daughter comes up to me and tells to me that she wants to be a player, there are a lot more avenues that even I am aware of. At that point of time, I'm not going to grudge them for feeling that there aren't that many opportunities. And see, eventually all of us want to be secure first. It's actually very relatable to how India played their cricket also, if you feel, till the point of time, till 21, 22, 23 kind of liberated them into finally playing T20 how they have to. So you see, my every conversation has a cricket relevance, so that this is how I talk to myself. This is how I have talked to myself all my life. So, in my boards, if there were something that was bothering me. I would picture it like a bowler. This subject to me is like Shane Bond. I cannot play him. What I have to do is I just have to find a way to get passing marks. I just have to survive, see him through. I'll try and dominate the other subjects. So that is the line of thought that has always been very natural to me, and I do not know why. Which is why the pinned tweet that I have is till date I feel one of my best thoughts ever about life and cricket combined. That people are like length balls outside off. You must know which all to leave, because those destined to come in will anyway make an impact. So I think when you wait so much, you are kind of very grateful to whatever comes through in your way, which is why when I started writing, I have read a lot of Jarrod Kimber, because that is where that was the only outlet that I had, and I felt like I'm not going to say that I'm as good as him, but I want to write like him. Now there was an author on CricInfo, Amir Naqvi, if we know, Karachi Khatmal is his Twitter handle. It's amazing how we remember people by their Twitter handles now. But so I used to read a lot of him, and I felt that okay, I'm reading news reports. I still do till date. Before I go to sleep, I read reviews of the game on at least 2 to 3 platforms. So it's a habit that is still there, and I would be like, if one day I can write like him, it will be great. So eventually you end up mixing a lot of those things. You end up mixing your experience, and you feel like now I could not play, but maybe I think this is how they play and this is why they play like this. Let's try and put it on paper, and you then keep getting better. And again, I don't think I write well, but I think that is something, it's to the people who read to tell me if they feel I'm good enough or not. But what I feel is I should put forward my opinion, and it is a constant learning process that you are never knowing enough. There is still a lot more for you to learn, which is why I consume a lot of cricket content as well. So yeah, thank you, Jarrod. Of course, I've told to him in person in terms of in a video platform, but yeah, hopefully one day when I meet him, I'll thank him for that as well.
Philosophy, if I can call that, game first, players later. What does that actually mean in today's world where there is PR, there is fan clubs, there is fan wars, and people are getting slapped in grounds, outside the ground? But you're saying game first, players later. So what's the right way for fans?
Firstly, I would not expect anything from fans, because I think in the chamber of in the ecosystem of cricket, everybody plays a massive role, and nobody plays a role more thankless and taken for granted as that of a fan. It's the fan who is giving the time of his life. He's spending money on watching you. He's spending money on buying your merchandise. He's spending money waiting for you in queues. He's the one who's coming to you for autographs. He's the one who's coming to you with a lot of love and adulation. But then there is the other side as well. There is the one that is waiting for you on social media for you to fail, for you to be dragged, for AI, use nice designing skills to make you look stupid and silly just to prove that my favorite is better than your favorite. They're always going to be part of the system. What I have tried and really tried to imbibe and tell to people is, now you can't, so let me put it this way, you cannot moral police fans. It is not going to work out. And the moment you tell people something to do, they will not do it. So the best way to go about it is just take the positive side to them, and then it is up to them whether they want it or not. So that is the bit with fans in terms of whenever I do a space or a recording, in every space I'm recording, I eventually leave this one line for all of them to think about later is, whatever you are watching, it is going to happen for a limited period of time. Don't waste your time wondering if this cover drive is better or that cover drive is better. For now, watch it. Cherish, because it will suddenly go one day. And then you will be like, dude, Virat Kohli just suddenly left. I told you it will happen. Rohit was so confident in Sydney. Life is uncertain. Do not waste any time cherishing your heroes. These are the people for whom you feel butterflies a day before the game. These are the people who are fighting your own friends and relatives for, because you feel validated by their existence. So cherish them. Don't worry. They have accepted their fate. They have accepted the uncertainty in life that they will fail more. But it's again, as I said, it is something we need to have a deeper conversation with, in terms of how we consume cricket and how much do we actually learn from the game. So for fans, you do whatever you want to, but try and be in a way that you're not harming anyone. Till the time you're not harming anyone, I am completely fine with whatever you want to think, because it's a free world. There's a lot of internet there, and there are a lot of distractions. You're not going to be able to get them all to think like one, and it will not be fun if both you and me agree that the 2023 final was lost, but not lost due to players not stepping in. It had many factors, so that's okay. Some will blame KL, some will blame somebody else, some will blame the pitch, somebody will blame somebody other party. In all, there was so much influence and all this and that. So let them think that way. But to me, game first is a good way of not being. So let me put it this way: player will come and go. The game is never going anywhere. And for some reason, that is something that always stuck with me, because when I got into the game, it was always about the game that, why is this fielder standing right here only? Why is he not standing this far or here? Why is this here? Why is this bowler suddenly bowling this to this guy and that to that guy? So again, it is just sometimes things just come to you differently. Now, I have been slandered for fun in certain days of my Twitter, because I would say I'm a passionate MS Dhoni fan. And then I would say MS Dhoni should have retired in 2015, maybe 2017. Maybe 2023 IPL was the last time MS should have played. And they're like, how are you an MS fan? How are you speaking bad? This is not bad. This is just honest opinion. And it is based on the fact that I love to watch MS. If you ask me, I would always love. I remember him hitting Mark Wood for 2 sixes. I'm writing on MS Dhoni even now when he's retired from cricket. He's an uncapped player. I'm writing on him. So it's not that he doesn't bring emotions out of me. But to me, and that is where I feel it is a part of the problem of how we consume cricket, that we're always selling people. We're not selling game. We're selling people. We are selling people that you cannot say wrong about them. No, it's not wrong. And you have to understand what is actually wrong and what is you are consuming that, oh, this is wrong about him. You are asking him to retire. Please understand, I'm not asking him to retire. If he can do A, B, C, he'll be great for this team. And trust me, he knows it more than you and me combined. But there are various factors because of which it is not happening. Now, it is up to us, if we are covering the game, if we are talking about the game, to bring this perspective to the people. If we also become player first, and I take the privilege of including myself in the people who are calling the game as we, so then what is the difference between me and everybody else who's following the game, right? So hence, game first, players later, because the game is always here. The game will never go. Players will come and go. You enjoy the sport. Sorry if this sounds very philosophical. Sorry.
No, but it's interesting to learn why that philosophy, and I think you live by it. I mean, you call the individual performance, like for example, I know you're a big fan of Jasprit Bumrah. So you openly mentioned that he is one of the finest of the generations. So I think they deserve, but yeah, not every cricket player can become an idol. At the end of the day, game brought them. So that's your thought process. High point of your cricketing association, of course, this is, but would like to know, how did you end up here and what changed after? Which is, for example, a lot of people on cricket Twitter were really thrilled to see you in Ashwin mock auction. And I think you were equally excited. And I also remember, we vividly follow you, right? I also remember leading to that auction, I think you were posting GIFs and you were posting tweets about how you're keeping on going, you're looking positive, something's going to happen. So tell us pre-phase of it, if you're comfortable, as to what was going on, and how did you end up with the gig, who approached you, and what changed after you actually went to the mock auction for you from a cricket perspective?
The moment you mentioned it, you saw beaming smile on my face because, uh, as I told you, right, for a guy who could not even speak a sentence without stammering, without being laughed at, that to hear itself feels like a lot of work. Lot of self work has been done, and as we spoke about in the conversation so far, I've never planned. I mean, I've planned, but it's never worked out in a way I wanted to. So I've tried and done whatever's come my way. And of course, there was a real money gaming ban that happened last year, which meant I was suddenly out of work everywhere. I've tried and I've done full-time work from 2012 till 2021, and since 2021, God has been kind to give me good freelance gigs every 6 months or every year. But most of it was related to what is happening right now. Say, fantasy is working, so you talk about it. And then there are startups who give you money to talk about cricket, which is not always fantasy, but still cricket. So there was a lot of work being done in that aspect. And then suddenly this bill comes, and in 6 days, I go from one number to absolute zero. And see, of course, I've been in this field since more than a decade now. So you have some savings. Thankfully, things are well to do. So you don't mind not having work for some time. But something that I've always taken a lot of pride on is trying to read what is coming in terms of, and again, this can be stupid, this cannot happen, but you try and be proactive in the way that, is this a sign? Is this a sign? Because it is something that has happened with me in the past. So 2019, when MS Dhoni hit that 6, and I've written about this, I felt an absolute hollowness in me, and I felt like something bad is coming. And then the run out happened. And then when Rohit got out in 2023 final, to that catch, I had resigned in my mind. It's like that switch that sometimes just happens within me. This game is gone. No matter what they do, I don't think they are coming back, because this looks like a sign. It will not happen otherwise. So you're always trying to read, okay, this has come to me for some reason. This has come to me for some reason. But in that time, from August till December, absolutely nothing came. No pings, no inquiries, because I'm still covering cricket. So there are so many things that I can do. I can cover cricket from the ground. I can cover cricket from my place. I can do social media. I can do text commentary. I can extract documents. These are good enough skills to find some work. And I'm not saying make a lot of money, but some work. I can speak about cricket. But where will the work come from? And this field has always been such where you are finding your own way. There is no set pattern that you do graduate, then you do this, then you do this, then you get a job, big four, this. No, you are carving your own path where you go now. So since August, nothing came. September gone, October gone. And that's when you start to lose hope. But you still want to be positive that, something is going to come, brother. Something's going to come. Something's going to come. Because, again, it is something that I've learned from my past experience, that if you don't look out for it, it will not come. You have to look out for it. You have to hope that it is going to come, because only then it will come. So, my dad would give me a lot of books earlier in my life where he would be like, read about this manifestation. This is how we do it. And I would be like, and I used to tell him the same thing every single time. Till the time I don't feel it, I will not buy into it. In the last few years, I've bought into it because I felt it. So then I would be like, I will wait. Something will come. Something will come. Which is when I also posted, the post that you said about, I posted a surprise GIF where it said, cricket is everybody's game, but it seems like maybe I'll have to do something else and I may have to leave cricket. And just a week after that, I also posted a GIF where I felt that, I don't know why, after a long time, something feels coming. And 2 days after that, Ashwin's manager DM'd me that, hey, there is an auction coming up, and we would love to have you as a part of the panel to do something in the auction. And I'm like, this is what I was.
Beautiful.
And the child in you is then elated, because this is why you want to manifest. This is why you want to think positively, but you still don't know whether it will happen. Because I was just in talks with Dream 11 for this new project about watching along, but nothing seemed final that it will happen. Because in my life a lot of things have come to me, but they've never come. So the door hasn't opened, but they've all been standing at the door that will come, we are just here, will come, but it's not happened. So I was like, and then you start doubting negatively that, but what if the same thing happens at the same time? If they call me there and then I have to be with them to finalize this, how will this all work out? I do not know. But then it so happens that it works out in some way, and they are like, we want you to be to be an owner of a team. And I was like, oh nice, Chennai. And they're like, no, Chennai is already taken. Would you do DC? And in my mind, I'm like, all I want to do is come. And at this point of time, I still did not know whether I was going to go to Chennai. I always assumed that it would be online, because I've been part of auctions where people play and they do stuff, and most of it is online. And I had seen them do the WPL one, which I think was done online. So in my assumption, ye bhi online hi hoga. Why would they call me offline? And then just after a few days, I just randomly asked, of course this is online, right? Jokingly. And they're like, no, you have to come here. And that is when it kicks in that, oh, this may finally happen, this may happen, but you still don't know what is going to be likely. So I spoke to him, just trying to double confirm, okay, this is happening, right? This is not a prank, because you trust them, but because you've been through so much, you feel like, yeah, I do not want this to be a thing where I tell to everybody, I'm going there, and then I don't go, and then I'll end up being the same guy that I was before, but of all jokes, unable to crack something. So then when I go there, I reach there a night before, because I'm not a morning person. I mean, I can wake up to watch Australia-New Zealand test, but I cannot wake up early otherwise. You have to give me an incentive of a match. So that is how I go, but I'll come a day prior. And then I hardly slept, because all I was wondering was, this is my homework. I've done this drill at least 4 times. I've spoken to 6 friends about this. Okay, this is the auction list. This is how I'll go about it. This is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. And of course, I had a co-owner with whom as well I had discussed, but he was going to meet me the next day. So I do all of this prep, and now I'm visualizing the auction a day prior when I'm in the hotel room, wondering, see, if this guy comes in this set, what I'll do is this, what I'll do is. And then I had to literally scold myself to sleep at 3 a.m. because the auction is in 6 hours, you need to sleep, otherwise you're going to yawn. And it's the reason why you did not want to take a morning flight, because you don't want to look stupid on camera yawning while Ashwin is doing bidding for a player. So then I slept. Still, I woke up at 6 or 7 in the morning, and then chalo, let's just revise this once again, because to me, it was a day where I wanted to just enjoy. I've been at a lot of places where you feel you lose that zing. I've been in a place during COVID where I was in cricket, but I could not enjoy cricket because I was working 18-19 hours, no offs, so much, no work-life balance, and you had a very young family. So when you go through that, you hence the gratitude feeling is always there. You know how much you've done to come to where you are. Now, if God is giving you something, cherish that day. It's the same thing that I tell to fans, right? If I tell them to enjoy and I don't enjoy and I overthink, what's the point of me telling anybody to enjoy that day? So I have enjoyed that day. Breakfast, I'm sending my wife photos. This is what I'm having for breakfast. This is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. And she's like, dude, I don't care what you'll do. I'm not into cricket. You are into cricket. You do what you want to do. So the day happens, and the auction also goes good. And the auction goes surprisingly very, very good. Ashwin is calling out my name more than a couple of times, and I put out that video as well. There were a few instances of him praising me. Well, I was not in the room, but somebody told me that he's talking about you inside. Just go and have a word. Really? And see, this is where there is always a bridge, right? Where you are a fan, you are someone who's trying to get close to the game, and there is this big wall that the ecosystem builds for you. You cannot go through this. And then there is a player who's breaking the wall for you. He's telling, we should at least listen to what these guys are saying. And that to me is something I'll never forget ever in my life, that a test cricketer for India, it doesn't matter how many wickets, what, which, where. I've tried to be a part of the system. I've tried to be inclusive, but it never always worked out that way. But here a player who supposedly, protecting the system is telling you, you are a part of our system. Every fan is a part of our system. That to me is a day that I will till date never forget. That I know exactly how I felt when I was about to sleep, when I got up, when I had breakfast, when I entered the room, when I saw the auction table, when they were doing photo shoots, when Ashwin called out the name. And then the bigger shock happened when I'm back from there and the auction is done. And then suddenly his manager pings me like, would you do a show with Ashwin right now to review the IPL auction? And I'm like, brother, this is too much. This is too much to happen in a single time frame of mind, where I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. And of course, why am I going to say no? It doesn't. I will do it, please. Yes, let's go. And then I end up doing that small gig with Ashwin and Vimal bhai. That's it. During the call, if you see, I'm starting with Ashwin sir, and then I'm calling him Ashwin bhai, and then I end up calling him Ashwin. It's because he broke that wall for me. I'm not close to him. I'm never going. I know who I am, and I know who I cannot be. But it was that one moment of love, care, and affection where I felt that it felt good that a fan. Eventually, we are all fans of the game. So it was good that one fan of a game was happy to talk to another fan of the game, no matter what degree he held, no matter where he was in life, no matter what he or she was doing. So I think that experience, I'll forever be grateful to Ashwin and of course to the game, that without that it would have never happened. And a very funny thing about this is, I live in Mumbai since my birth. I have never used metro. The first time I used metro was to go to the airport to go to Chennai.
Wow.
Now, these are silly things, but these silly things are what make life worth that experience. That all this life I used to wonder, bhai main kab jayega metro, main to kabhi gaya bhi nahi bhai metro mein, pata nahi kab. And then you go the first day and you go alone and you are going to Chennai. Why? To attend an auction, a test playing nation. Banda has arranged an auction, and then you're going there as a part of a team owner. So again, it may sound silly, it may sound immaterial, but to that small kid who used to make those diaries, who used to sit on that car, if I would tell that guy that a test player one day will take your name live on camera, he would have cried, he would have given arms and legs and everything to be just part of that moment. So hence, always grateful, and hopefully maybe we'll do a lot more stuff in cricket, who knows.
There's so many lessons, man, what you just went through. Don't give up, keep positively preparing for it. When you're in the moment, yes, like they keep saying, don't get overwrought, just focus on what you're good at. But also your emotions. I kind of really like the emotions which came out, because that's very few reasons cricket Twitter again comes together and talks consistent language. I think your mock auction entry, I know there were other Twitter people who were also invited, but the amount of support you got and the amount of the recognition people felt you deserve with that was different to a few others. So congratulations, and hope you continue to get those gigs, man. Really appreciate the insights. I think you earned every bit of it.